What happens when a team with a rising superstar quarterback stacks its offense with talent, but the defense still lags behind? Can that team truly contend for a Super Bowl? In the case of the Washington Commanders, that's the million-dollar question. After an electrifying season led by rookie sensation Jayden Daniels, all eyes are now on one thing. Has Washington finally fixed the defense? Or will their hopes be dashed by the same weaknesses that plagued them last year? Let's take a deep dive into what the Commanders did in the 2025 NFL Draft and offseason, and whether it was enough to turn their defense from a liability into a strength. The Washington Commanders have made it no secret that they're all in on quarterback Jayden Daniels, and why wouldn't they be? After all, the young signal caller helped orchestrate an offense that finished 5th in scoring and 7th in total yards during his rookie campaign. The Commanders didn't stop there. They doubled down, giving Daniels even more help this offseason. They added 5-time Pro Bowl left tackle Laremy Tunsil to fortify the offensive line, brought in dynamic receiver Deebo Samuel, and used their first-round pick on offensive tackle Josh Conerly Jr. The message was loud and clear: build an offensive powerhouse. But as powerful as their offense may be, football remains a game of two sides. And while the Commanders' offensive unit looked playoff-ready, their defense raised more questions than answers. In 2024, the defense ranked 18th in scoring and 13th in total points allowed. That simply won't cut it if the Commanders plan on getting past elite teams like the Philadelphia Eagles and making a deep postseason run. So what did the Commanders do to address the glaring issues on defense? To understand that, we need to look back at what went wrong in 2024. The most glaring issues: run defense and turnovers. The Commanders ranked a miserable 30th against the run and 28th in yards per carry allowed. Against a team like the Eagles, the number 2 rushing offense in the league, that's a recipe for disaster, and it showed. In 3 meetings with the Eagles last season, Washington surrendered more than 200 yards rushing each time, allowing an eye-popping 5.8 yards per carry. To fix that, Washington decided to get bigger and stronger up front. They added nose tackle Eddie Goldman, tipping the scales at 332 pounds, and brought in Javon Kinlaw at a hefty 330 pounds. These two will help fill the void left by Jonathan Allen, who was released in March. While Allen played at around 280 to 290 pounds, hoping to increase his speed, Goldman and Kinlaw are here to eat up space and clog running lanes. The Commanders also added Deatrich Wise Jr., a solid defensive end weighing in at 280 pounds. Goldman, in particular, comes with high praise. Atlanta Falcons head coach Raheem Morris, who worked with Goldman last season, called him a big run stopper who is nearly impossible to move and possesses strong, violent hands. That's exactly the kind of muscle Washington needs in the trenches. But it wasn't just the front line that needed attention. The secondary, especially the cornerback group, needed a serious upgrade. In 2024, the Commanders forced just 17 turnovers, ranking 20th in the league, and had only 7 interceptions. Fewer than all but 3 teams. With such low takeaway numbers, it was clear that more playmakers were needed in the back end. Enter Trey Amos, a physical and versatile cornerback from Ole Miss, who the Commanders selected in the 2nd round. According to multiple sources, Washington actually considered Amos in the 1st round, a testament to how highly they value his skills. Amos brings length, speed, and excellent ball instincts. In his final season at Ole Miss, he intercepted 3 passes and broke up 13 more. Head coach Lane Kiffin described him as a corner who can do everything. He has the speed, the ball skills, and the physicality to make an immediate impact. With Amos now in the fold, Washington has more flexibility in the secondary. He'll likely line up opposite veteran Marshawn Lattimore, who is expected to bounce back after dealing with a hamstring injury last season. The addition of Amos allows Mike Sainristil to return to his more natural position inside, where the Commanders believe he excels. Washington also added veteran corner Jonathan Jones to provide depth and experience. So what about the pass rush? That's still one of the biggest questions surrounding this Washington Commanders defense. Despite being active this offseason, they didn't make the kind of big splash fans might have hoped for at edge rusher. There were rumors linking them to stars like DeMarcus Lawrence and Joey Bosa, but in the end, no blockbuster deal materialized. Instead, Washington opted to improve their depth and versatility along the defensive line. It might not be headline-grabbing, but it could be exactly what they need to build a more consistent and balanced defense. They added Javon Kinlaw, Deatrich Wise Jr., and Jacob Martin, all solid veterans with proven ability to contribute. None of these players has ever posted more than 7.5 sacks in a single season, but each brings a different strength to the table. Kinlaw and Wise offer size and versatility, with the ability to play both inside and out. Martin brings energy and a relentless motor off the edge. While none of them may be Pro Bowl level individually, together they create a deeper, more flexible defensive front. One of the biggest contributors could be linebacker Frankie Luvu, who had 8 sacks last season. Luvu's skill set is perfect for Dan Quinn's defensive philosophy. He can blitz from various angles, drop into coverage, and play the run with power. Quinn has consistently emphasized his love for players who can wear multiple hats, and Luvu fits that mold perfectly. That kind of versatility is going to be critical if Washington hopes to confuse and pressure opposing quarterbacks more consistently this season. Another name to watch is Darren Payne. While his sack numbers have dipped, only 8 total over the past 2 seasons, he still has the kind of strength that can push the pocket and force offenses to adjust. If second-year tackle Jer'Zhan Newton develops as expected, that interior duo could wreak havoc on offensive lines. Newton has already shown flashes of brilliance in limited action, and Washington is betting on a big jump in year 2. But we can't ignore the loss of Dante Fowler Jr., who led the team with 10.5 sacks last year. He left in free agency, and that production needs to be replaced. Fowler was a game-changer on third downs and often drew double teams, freeing up teammates. Without him, Washington will need more collective effort from the group to replicate that impact. There could still be more help coming. Assistant General Manager Lance Newmark mentioned that the team is not finished making moves. There have been internal discussions about adding another edge rusher, and with veterans like Von Miller and Zadarius Smith still on the market, there's a very real chance Washington adds one more piece before the regular season begins. Still, even without that late addition, Washington believes the pieces they have already brought in can make a real difference. They're focusing on depth, rotation, and building a line that can wear opponents down over the course of a game. The idea is simple: stay fresh, stay aggressive, and get after the quarterback in waves. With stronger run defense up front and better coverage in the secondary, the Commanders hope their pass rush won't need to be elite, just opportunistic and timely. And speaking of the secondary, the addition of Trey Amos has the coaching staff excited. His presence could allow Washington to play more press-man coverage, freeing up extra blitzers and giving the front line more time to get home. With Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Sainristil also in the mix, the Commanders now have a cornerback group capable of sticking with receivers and disrupting timing. Coach Quinn summed it up by saying, "I love the guys we've added, and it's easy to see why." While this offseason didn't bring a single jaw-dropping move, it delivered a steady flow of talent upgrades across key areas of the defense. It wasn't about chasing headlines. It was about fixing weaknesses and building a tougher, smarter, more balanced unit. So did the Commanders improve their defense in the 2025 NFL Draft and offseason? Yes, absolutely. Are they now a top 5 defense? Not quite, but they're much closer than they were a year ago. This team has filled critical holes, added competition, and built depth where it was sorely lacking. When paired with an explosive offense led by Jaden Daniels, the Commanders have the look of a complete football team. The only question now is whether they've done enough to get past the Philadelphia Eagles and claim the NFC crown. Time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this team is no longer just about offense. The defense is catching up, and that should have the rest of the league on high alert. Thanks for watching. If you liked this breakdown and want more deep dives like this, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single update.